Welcome to Rural Concerns, the podcast for city folks who dream of a world where strangers say good morning and £5 is still enough to get someone beaten up.
Great. That's exactly as I envisioned it when I wrote it. Brilliant. Welcome to the show. I can't not say that I'm not pissed off. It's not letting me do both at the same time.
Oh, this is your stupid gaming PC, which is broken down.
It is. I'm on the iPad. I've got a temporary setup, but I have to tell you, I'm absolutely losing the will to live as a PC power user. When we started this podcast, I was having to figure things out because my setup was in a funny spot, and I was trying to figure out how to my computer equipment. I think there was some sort of power surge living in the middle of nowhere. A guy I met reckoned this happens to farmers when the fields get hit by lightning. So it blew my network card out. So I've got a temporary dongle type thing.
Whoa. Why haven't you got a surge protected thing?
I do now.
Oh.
Did you buy it off a farmer?
Yeah, it was steaming. It was like that. And he said, that's when you know it's good. When it's hot. Ow, it's hot to the touch. What were you saying, Sunil?
You know how much I care about power delivery to devices.
I'd say it's your number one passion. In the 13 years we've known each other.
It's the only time you see light behind my eyes. Yeah. I mean, it's really disappointing. That's all I've got to say. Yeah.
I know. And I survived. And then we moved to the new house. I was like, great. But the new house is basically this Victorian house that's being slowly rewired. And there's a lot of...
Dog piss paradise.
Dog bordello. So there's lots of... Basically, the wiring's all a bit insane. I left the computer on. I flicked on a wallpaper strimmer and it blew the electrics out in the house. And basically, I think this computer has survived 2 massive power surges, which I've done a little bit of research and it's looking like that might not be great news. I thought I'd got away with it, but basically it's like the computer's got a disease and now it's struggling to process Photoshop. It was fine.
You've blown out half the motherboard or something, have you?
Well, yeah, I had to get a separate dongle because the Ethernet connector on the motherboard had been blown out.
I'm glad your stupid PC blew up.
Okay, I want to get into this and find out why.
Because you put LED lights inside the casing, so it would just blink away in your dark little study, and it just looked stupid, and it was completely unnecessary.
They came with the PC, and when I was getting the network card fixed, I paid them an extra tiny bit of money to disconnect the lights because they were giving me migraines.
You got a see-through PC case so you could look at it, look at the insides of it.
Yeah, water cooled. But now I'm in a really tough spot where basically I've got a really good-ish PC. I mean, time moves on. It's probably not as good as it used to be. But when I bought it in lockdown, it was quite reasonably high spec and it can play loads of cool games.
That card game.
It can play Balatro. But basically, I feel like an idiot because I've got this I've never been a MacBook person because I thought those people...
You can't even use this iPad you're using right now. The camera is focused from your nose down.
That's because I don't have a stand for it. Let's delete the recording and I'll...
Is it an actual iPad or is it your nan says she's got an iPad, but it's an Amazon Fire?
Yeah, it's my iPad. Samsung.
I got one of them Samsung iPads.
During lockdown, we moved up to this area and my son met his schoolmates doing Zoom classes, which was terrible. But there was always one of the teachers was a slightly senior lady who was heading towards retirement at the time. Me and Nicola just always used to call her Galaxy Tab A because that was her name on the screen. But let me tell you about this PC. So I just want to talk. I feel sad and I want to talk about why I feel sad.
Just write a eulogy for the PC, get it done with, give it a proper ceremony.
Do I go? I don't want to go MacBook because people that like Apple products are dweebs. But now that I have this iPad and I can see how it would connect, I could say how I could just send something from my phone, my Apple phone, to my iPad.
So you've got an Apple phone?
No, I've got this iPad. This is my one Apple product. But now I've got the Apple product and I've got friends who've got Apple products. It's like you can airdrop things and it's a lot less stressful than
email attachments.
Yeah, but I don't mean to brag about my little internet videos, but I am recording those at too high a definition. I sent my Sam O'Leary, who did the music for this podcast, is among many things a director, and I sent him a little video I was working on, and he went, "Wow, that's big." But I don't know how to do it any other way. I'm just trying my best.
Yeah, no, you're doing all right, man. You're doing all right. I'm sorry about your PC. I'm sorry I slagged off your little light-up PC.
I've just got all this like stuff on there. I don't know what to do. It's just like I'm gonna have, in the short term, I'm gonna have to pay someone to do a bit of design work for me, which is stressful. But the thing that makes me sad about this PC is I've got a friend who's very PC literate, and I've just sort of been messaging him. I'm like, it's doing this. I don't understand why. And he's like, I suspect your motherboard's fried, and I suspect that replacing that is what you need to do. And he sent me a little bundle of a motherboard and a RAM upgrade for like 340 quid, which is money, but it is attainable money. And he might help me put it together. But basically, it was like, that should be the problem. But the thing with a PC is like testing and running it through. That might not be it. So if we replace the motherboard and the RAM and that's all working, then that would move the problem to somewhere else. It becomes the drives, the graphics. And it's that sort of thing that made me think, why have I bought this? Why have I bought this powerful thing that I don't understand?
What you're telling me is that you're refusing to take it to a PC repair shop for some reason. So what's going on there? Why won't you just take it to a chap to sort out?
No. There's nothing on there. There's the highest resolution A3 poster you've ever seen.
Yeah.
What's that noise?
Is that
your
I've got
PC?
The air ambulance outside.
Really?
That's all right. We can work around that. What are they there? Who are they there for?
Yeah, sorry about the air ambulance break. It does happen, and whenever it happens, I look on Flight Radar app just to see it's the same helicopter every time.
Is it?
Yeah, GEMS it's called.
Like a really posh person talking to me.
Yeah. No, it's quite nice having the air ambulance nearby. It's good to know.
Just in case.
Just in case that I can't be asked to drive there.
How far are you away from the hospital?
Without wanting to dox myself.
Yeah, let's not.
That kind of is the vibe in a podcast. Whether I'm doxing myself by exposing, I'm saying exactly what cul-de-sac James lives in opposite David Cameron. I'm telling everybody that I've got a broom above my door, and everybody in the Discord group has definitely figured it out. That's the vibe of the podcast. It tells you exactly where you live.
We're all going to have to move soon due to the popularity of this podcast.
Yeah, when it goes big, which I'm expecting it will. Do you know what I mean?
Next couple of weeks, I reckon.
I'm going to have to take the boom down. My wife is very keen for the boom to come down, so this is just extra evidence that she needs to.
It can't. I think it's the people of this podcast want it to stay up.
Exactly. And it was put there to keep away evil. So if I take it down and I'm inviting evil into my house, and I don't know about you, listener, but I don't want that.
Have you found any more secret passages or cupboards or anything in your house?
No.
Speaking of evil.
No, we're not. We're slowly ticking through. We're basically at a stage where we've done quite a decent amount of decorating now. A few rooms at different stages. The boys' room is fully finished down to carpet, so he's in there happy as Larry. We're now working on mine and Nicola's bedroom. We've just had the plasterer back in for that, which is an expense, but oh my, how delicious when the new plaster goes on. So that's good. And the living room's kind of done. We haven't replastered the living room. We've done sort of like filled stuff, and
you don't need to with the telly, do you?
It's not pristine, but it is looking finished.
Can I have a biscuit now?
Yeah, go on.
Let's have a biscuit break. This feels like it needs its own sting.
Can I have a biscuit now?
Let's have a biscuit break. Do you remember now we did the recording a few back when I was eating greasy sweets and had a coffee at 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. That was the worst night of my life.
How was your toilet?
Bad stress. It's just like, come on, greasy sweets and coffee at 10 o'clock. What are you doing?
Is Nicola away?
This week, yeah. So she's back overseas 2 times before Edinburgh because she's basically cramming as much money into July as possible so she could have like a more chilled out August.
So Chris, you're solo dado.
Solo dado. I have one job this week to keep him alive.
To keep the Switch charged.
To keep the Switch fully charged so that this boy doesn't tear through my life. No, he's a good kid. I'm feeling very paternal and want to give him lots of cuddles at the minute because he's growing up really quick, and there's lots of stuff going on in his little life, in his little head, and then he just wakes up and he's twice the size that he was the day before. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, I know it's tough, lad.
It's not that tough being twice the size the next morning. It's pretty good.
I don't know. You just don't fit in your trousers anymore. You're bending your head to get through door frame. He's like, what am I? Do you know what I mean?
How old is he?
Yeah, he's coming up on 8. So he's a big lad. He's just like that.
But not long until he can absolutely tear through the parents' race on Sports Day.
Yeah, well,
let's not go back there. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, James.
Can I tell you another thing though about that? If we just talk about it really quickly, I just want to point out that
obviously
got done for cheating.
Well, by not having a child.
And I reported him.
Wow.
That's it. We won't say his name again.
Good. There is a kid's book that, like a You're Growing Up Osborne book that we've got, which is called, it sounds like it's named by what happens to a supervillain. It's called What Is Happening to Me?
I don't remember having anything like that when I was going through, growing. I don't remember any books telling me
Didn't
what
you have
was
that
happening.
one with the robot on it? Like inside your body with the nuddy pages?
No, it was just, just get on with it. Just, all the boys are going through it. It's just don't talk about it, bury it, move on.
You buried him so deep. I haven't seen him since I've known you in 13 or so years.
We've talked about charging cables.
Yeah, we did. That's enough, isn't it? And I sort of imagined that you had a lot less. There's just no way in which you weren't born with a full beard and bad eyes.
You knew me before the beard.
I know, but it didn't make sense until the beard came in.
I looked at a video of the special we recorded in February. I'm pretty sure I've told you this, but I got a bad beard trim the day before.
Yeah.
And it's a shock. They cut my beard, they hacked it off, and I had to film, and that's it forever now. It's going to be out there.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it also doesn't matter. And
it matters.
But
it matters. You just said it doesn't fit me to not have a beard. So
no, but a little bit of a beard. Did I take it into skin? Is that the thing? You need a bit of length on it coming out.
Yeah, you can see skin, and then I got head like ball.
Well, personally, I'm very excited to see these videos now. Although maybe not for the reasons. When are you releasing these videos?
I've got to do a bit of work on them before I send it through to the brilliant Sam O'Leary.
AI stuff, some AI stuff.
Can I AI like a different size head onto my head?
Have a word with your bank people. See if they'll give you the vectors. How is Prep for Edinburgh going, Chris?
Oh, fuck off.
Thank you for getting us back on track, James.
It's all right.
There's something in there, isn't there? Right, so Edinburgh Fringe prep's going well. It's taken I was just about to send my posters and flyers to print, but now my computer's obliterated that ability, so that's a temporary hurdle, but I believe that I can put it back on track quite easily. So now I'm just getting ready to do the show, and I've been around a bit recently. I did one in London.
Ooh.
I did one in London. Ooh. I've been to Sheffield. I've been to Manchester, Leeds.
All the big cities.
I tell you what, actually, Sheffield wasn't one of prepping for Edinburgh. What I did was a spot. I was a guest on Northern News, which is obviously Ian Smith and our very good friend Amy Gledhill's podcast. And do you know what I did when I was on there, Sunil?
You promoted the podcast Rural Concerns.
I mentioned that I had a podcast. I just mentioned it to their audience. Insane, really.
Why'd you say that, Chris?
What else did you mention?
Look, I talked about a story.
Well, you can go everywhere. People can go and listen to that. But yeah, okay. Did you promote your Edinburgh show?
Big time.
What's it called?
It's called Easily Swayed.
I know that because I looked it up yesterday on the Ed Fringe website so I can plan my visit.
Oh, that's nice. Are you going to buy a full price ticket or
I can't make it. I haven't got time.
Right.
No, I'm there. I've had to shorten my trip, so I'll be there. I've got you down for the 10th of August.
Oh, brilliant. What dates are you there?
Probably a bit doxy, that.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, so Easily Swayed. I'm billing it as a tale of high fantasy, middle age, and fine silks. But I'm cementing a trend of being very, very bad at self-promotion. One of my first shows that I did, the first Edinburgh show that I did on my own was in 2015. It was called Welcome to Tiddleminster.
I saw that.
God, I
enjoyed it. It was very humbling experience performing in a 60-seater room to 6 people every day. So it was very humbling, but I was very proud of it by the end, but I'm very bad at promoting. So the show, it didn't have my name on the poster. I billed it as an interactive PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, I remember you having a giant picture of me with my balls out in it.
Oh, yeah. I did for that show because I do less of it now. Oh, no, I don't. The show was very multimedia, lots of illustrated elements. Like I painted loads of stuff for it, built it, and it was me taking people on a tour around an island. And I don't know why, but I just wrote you like the real life you into the character without consent, which I don't feel great about, but.
Well, it's a crime now.
It's a crime now.
Is it?
Well, I imagine putting in nude drawings of someone is some sort of crime, isn't it, without their consent?
But it could have been that other Sunil Patel, that doctor.
Well, he pointed me out when I was in the audience.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's pretty criminal. It's not like it's out of character.
If not a born prankster. Do you know what I mean? Cheeky imp. But I found, do you know what? That show's so old and was never recorded. I've got the PDF of the script, and it's rubbish. Not rubbish, but it's so early days in terms of structure and stuff like this. But I don't mind. I'm going to put it on the Patreon, I think, just because otherwise it just. I'm not good at maintaining data. Do you know what I mean? My computer's probably going to at this rate, it will get hit by lightning again. And I've lost everything.
Is that your way of saving it? Is that instead of Google Drive?
Yeah, I'm running out of space on my Google Drive. I'm running out of space fast.
Sorry, you should just print everything out and stick it under the floorboards.
So I insulate my house and I've got a permanent record of all the ideas I've had over years.
Yeah.
How was the Leeds gig?
Leeds was like, well, that's not technically true because I'm from Bradford, whereas Leeds is adjacent.
That's like Salford and Manchester, though, isn't it?
No, not at all. There's actual distance between them.
No, there isn't. I've looked it up.
I've seen it. It's part of a general metropolis.
No.
Isn't it?
The Leeds Bradford Odeon. It's like the bit Adam and God bit on the old ceiling.
The Leeds Bradford Odeon is in Bradford. It's just that there's a thing that a lot of people, there's some bad people that are from the Bradford area that I don't know, they try and big up proximity to Leeds. Do you know, sometimes when you make people out, you go, oh, where did you grow up? And they're like, Leeds. You bad dig people. Down, they've got a BD postcode, and those people should be ashamed of themselves.
What do you think about the Bradford identity as being erased by the association with Leeds?
Well, this is like my dad years ago said to me that he really believed the EU. The EU were like basically wanted Leeds to be the big metropolis. So, you know, it was getting all the funding and focus and stuff. And
that's what he believed?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh,
to overtake London, you mean?
No, to overtake for Leeds. I don't know.
To overtake what Leeds was.
What's Pudsey then? Which one's Pudsey?
Pudsey's Leeds.
Right. What's the full neck Moravian settlement? That's just popped up on my maps.
Never heard of that in my entire life. The full neck.
Are we talking about local government funding now?
What about Tong?
Oh, I don't know about Tong. I think Tong's...
What about Cockersdale?
I used to work at Tong Garden Centre. And my friend Zach also worked there. But I worked on Tills. And Zach worked in the aquatics department. And the boys who worked in the aquatics department were all from the Bradford Grammar School. He was part of that gang. And even though he's like my very, very best friend, when he was with those guys, we didn't talk all the time. So the word that we sort of had for that group was, we called them, get this, the aquatics twats. But I think I remember him saying that they used to fit, aquatic centre. No one's really there. No one's spending that much on fish all the time. They just used to get little, like goldfish or whatever, just feed them to the mad fighting fish type thing in there. They just used to drop stuff in and just this is wicked.
But that's the type of hobby you can indulge if you don't live in a flat in London, though, isn't it? This is why out there, everyone's at it.
What?
Exotic animals and the like, aren't they?
What, fighting animals, is that?
Yeah, fighting, yeah.
Sacrificing.
Well, they got the space for it.
Yeah, you got the space to sacrifice things to a fighting fish, to an anglerfish that you're keeping in your front room.
One of those coffee table fish tanks.
Yeah, but right, I did two shows back to back. Yeah, so I did Leeds and then I did Manchester. And I keep having these shows, and the show's in a good place. I think we're like 75 to 80% there. There's still loads of work to do. We've got a month. I think I'm further ahead than I were with my last show, but I didn't love my last show. So I feel broadly happy. The panic is setting in and the hard work begins, but we're getting there. So I did Leeds. Leeds was magical. I think there was a couple of people from the Creamery in there. Big shout out to the Discord. But I left the show being like, yes, we're nearly there. It was like a messy bits, but we were laughing for an hour. I'm doing the shows about me and my oldest friends and sort of being friends in your 40s and what that means. But because I'm sort of changing names, basically. So my friend Lol, who came to the show in Leeds, basically was piecing together whose pseudonym was who. And then she just laughed really loud at one bit. And she went, I said, you figured out who it is? And yeah, she went, oh, yeah, he lost his virginity to me. And I went, yeah, I know, I was downstairs. So that sort of fun of a local gig, do you know?
Right.
I don't get that in London. But then I did it in if I'd have left there, I'd have had just a great time. But then in Manchester, it was a bit more, like a slightly different audience. And I was like, it was just, I've still got work to do, basically.
Yeah.
So, that's part of the magical process of previews. I've got I said at the top of the show that, a lot of the stuff that you do during these, it is shit. You figure out with stand-up, you figure out if you can do it while you're doing it, which is just one of the reasons that being a stand-up is the exact opposite of being a pilot. I was like, it's fine, we're having a laugh. So did you have anything else to say about it? Have you just sort of gone boots in on Bradford today? They're good people working hard.
Just thought it was in Leeds. I genuinely thought it was in Leeds. I thought it was part of Leeds.
Oh, you thought Bradford was a suburb of Leeds?
Yeah, like I thought, it's Bradford's the Croydon of Leeds.
What is Croydon? Is Croydon the Croydon of London?
Yeah, I mean yeah.
But I always think, when you look at old literature and stuff from the 1800s or whatever, and it's when you look at the idea that Highgate in London used to be out of London. It was it's a little village outside London. It would be a trip to leave London to go to Highgate, but then London's just expanded and expanded, where that is very comfortably within London. So then I can't get out this image out of my head that London is basically like a malignant tumour that's getting bigger and bigger. Do you know what I mean? Like spreading, sucking resources.
So then that'll happen to Leeds, won't it?
Yeah, Bradford will be. Just a bit of Leeds.
The thing about Leeds is I had such a great time doing my show there, but the general cultural difference between Bradford and Leeds, basically, people from Bradford, proper top chillers, proper having a laugh lads. People from Leeds, kind of up their own asses. That's a broad split. They think there's something that they're not.
They got Harvey Nichols, though, haven't they?
And they won't let you forget it for a single second.
Croydon is to London as Stockport is to Manchester. What I mean? Like if someone's from Stockport, they're from Manchester.
I feel like this might be. We've had a good run with this podcast, but I think within the last 5 minutes, we might have just absolutely obliterated any goodwill we'd built up.
Absolutely, yeah. Cut that out, Joe.
Don't cut any of it out, Joe. Leave that in and leave in the bit where I'm having to go a biker gang.
Don't leave in biker gangs.
All I'm going to say is you won't hear this, but
Beep.
No, you don't beat me. I went after a biker gang, which I'm not naming now, and James is too scared to put it in, and I was actively trying to stoke a gang war.
Well, look, let's have something we can keep in. Sunil, on the notes, we've got Sunil's Guide to Triple Chocolate Crunch. What is this?
Triple Chocolate Crunch is a cereal from M&S. Last time I had it, I had to stop because what?
It's just like I don't know. This is just making me laugh already. You had to stop what? Eating cereal. You had too much cereal.
I had to stop eating Triple Chocolate Crunch. I think it's the sugariest cereal in the country.
Oh, yeah.
I had to stop because I lost vision in my right eye. So I haven't had it since then.
Mid-bowl?
No, well, the next morning I was like, well, I lost vision in my eye, and it's something to do with the fact that I think I got dehydrated because I had too much sugar in me or something like that. Well, it just went blurry. It just went a bit blurry. That was it, just a bit of a dry eye. But I'm back on it now, just sort of teasing myself in. And it's basically, I just like to recommend it to anyone. It's possibly the best cereal available. That's my update from London.
Are you combining that with a full fat milk?
I'm combining that with a full fat milk or a barista blend oat milk.
Oh, that is. Yeah,
so it needs to go with a creamy milk just to make the most of it. There's no point having it with skimmed milk or semi-skimmed. It's just pointless, isn't it? It's like having caviar on a Warburton's white slice. Yeah.
I'm in. I'm fully in. I'm going to get some. There's a M&S in Carlisle. I'm going to get some tomorrow.
Right. Remember, there's Triple Chocolate Crunch. There's also high protein Triple Chocolate Crunch. High protein Triple Chocolate Crunch, not sugary at all. Triple Chocolate Crunch, it's just shavings of chocolate and it melts. It's a pudding for breakfast with a few oats.
We were contacted this week from John. Can you see that one, Sunil?
Yes, I can. Hello, boys. That's how it starts. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. There's an omission. Oh, no. I was nearly wrong. Keep going. Yeah, you keep reading.
After following Chris and James's work for a few years, I was delighted to find that Sunil was involved in this new comedy trio, and I've been enjoying it very much. James, that's nice.
That is nice, but worrying because my work has been in offices.
yeah, that guy behind printer. That's just
and lawmen as well. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Now, I wanted to share with you my recent experience of settling in to watch Dune 2 on the big telly while my wife and piglets were away for the whole night. Step 1. Check internet speed, 64.7 down, 32 up. So far, so good. That's good stuff.
Mid-league.
It's good stuff. It's all right. We don't know where he lives exactly. Now, step 2, Google how to watch Dune 2 online. Open Amazon Prime on the TV.
Uh-huh.
Step 3, log on to Amazon by zapping the TV with my phone. Yeah, I like that. Step 4, get told to change my password. Step 5, wait for OTP and enter it. What's that, a code? Yes, you get that code through on your phone, isn't it? Step 6, wait for phone code, don't get it. Step 7, verify by email, account locked for suspicious activity. Step 8, set up new email account. This is where I think you've gone wrong. Set up new email account. Set up new Amazon account. That's step 9. I think you've gone too far at this point. Step 10, get locked out for entering the same phone number as previous account. Okay. Step 11, find Dune 2 on Google Films on phone. Step 12, card declined. Why has that happened? Step 13, other card accepted. Good, we're nearly there. Step 14, connect phone to TV. Step 15, no picture because TV is not an Android TV. Step 16, find Chromecast dongle, out of battery. Bloody hell, this is going terribly. Step 17, plug Chromecast into TV and PS5 to charge. Step 18, log on to Google on Chromecast. Step 19, change password by email. Step 20, start Dune Part 2 and fall asleep after 10 minutes of the film starting. Another cautionary tale from the twilight age of physical media. Yours with the warmest of wishes, and thanks, John.
Oh, my
nothing
days.
Blu-ray wouldn't sort out.
There would have been a step 7A, throw telly out the window from me.
If you told that string of events, if you went in the past to someone like at the turn of the century, like a Victorian or someone, he said, listen, this is the future. He'd throw himself in a volcano, wouldn't you? You'd be like...
Well, he also doesn't know what a film is.
Yeah. But if you... Yeah, that's a very good point. But basically, if you we are living in hell. But because we're living in the dystopian future that people wrote nightmarish fiction about in the 50s and 40s, like it's going to be like this. And what they think, like, this is as scary as 1980. This is as scary as 1984 or Fahrenheit 451.
It's absurd how much time you waste trying to give a corporation 14 quid to rent a film nowadays.
But the fact, I won't be drawn into the £14 rental because all the stuff that I was very anti-physical media, but now it's like if I pay Amazon £15 to own a film, one day they'll just decide I don't own it and turn it off.
Thank you. Finally coming around to my point of view.
I know. It's taken a long time for me to get there.
Are you just working your way through cinema then? Just getting the full set?
Yeah, I'm trying to get hold of classics that I can't find, that I haven't seen, But yeah, anyway, look, I will, of course, be buying Dune and Dune 2 on 4K HD.
But then you've got to maintain the piece of equipment that will play that back.
That's a very good point, James. Chris, I can hear you deep breathing into the microphone as we talk about Blu-rays. It's disgusting.
I'm sorry, we're getting into the reeds of deep. I'm getting a bit excited. I don't know what it is.
It's even worse because I can't see your face. I don't know what you're doing out
no,
there.
I'm just in the document, so I'm I can't dual camera with the iPad setup. I'm back.
Good. Clothes still on. Great stuff.
Yeah, my hands are here. Let's just talk about Dune 2 4K Blu-ray 10 edition.
We can't talk about Dune 2 again. We can't keep talking about Dune 2 on this podcast.
Well, what we need is a new film to come and replace it. And I'm looking at the summer release schedule, and I'm sorry I'm not inspired.
I'm going to go and see the Quiet Place prequel.
Oh, yeah.
There, I've said it. Okay.
They're good for, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy those films, but I'll tell you what, so my friend pointed out to me, they're launching these films now. Like, what's his name? John Krasinski? Yeah. John Krasinski. He's done a film like a kid's film or something like that. I think and it says from the mind of John Krasinski. And I'm like, come on, mate, Quiet Place. And it's, spin-off films are great, but we are not yet at the place where you can claim that, like, that's reserved for Tim Burton, isn't it? Do you know, like,
and my M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, exactly. I watched one of those M. Night films the other day. I'm like, this is amazing, just like pure bollocks. But I really am enjoying it.
I'm quite looking forward to that new one.
It's basically Josh Hartnett, who has a very strong producer James energy, living a life as a normal man. But it turns out halfway through the trailer, he's actually a serial killer. The fact that Josh Hartnett looks kind of like James, or has James energy, is like the very tip of the iceberg of overlaps with this film. And even though I'll be upset that I didn't stop here, I will take some pride in having spotted it.
Thank you so much for listening to Rural Concerns. You can support this podcast via Patreon, where you'll get bonus episodes every 2 weeks, as well as access to The Creamery, our mental Discord hangout. I didn't want to say mental there, but that's what's written down. It's our Discord. You'll have to know that I still don't have access to that. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you the link at episode 100. I think that.
Fuck me. Okay.
And please, we would just like to say we are a small independent podcast, so every bit of money that we are getting, less than the cost of a pint, is making a huge difference. I would also say that we proudly don't use AI, but I'm not entirely sure that Sunil isn't powered by ChatGPT.
I mean, you can't tell.
No, you could be an AI. You could be a deep fake.
No, an AI will be far more polite than me. If you've enjoyed listening to Rural Concerns, please consider dropping us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, as it will help us game the algorithm.
Yes, please. It's the only way we're going to defeat Jamie Lang.
Right, this is one of the recent reviews we've had on Apple Podcasts. Great listen. Love all that Chris does on stage and podcast. 2 thumbs up, both white.
Is that you, Chris?
No, that one's not me. That one isn't me. I just for full disclosure, I have done a review of us that's on the Apple list. And I think James has as well, because this one that really does zone in on the production.
Yes, great production. I absolutely love the production.
It's all we can do to move the dial into. Rural Concerns is edited by Joseph Burrows and produced by Egg Mountain for A Lovely Time Productions. Our artwork is by Poppy Hillstead. Our music is by Sam O'Leary.
As a reward for listening to the end, here's an inspirational quote from Action Bronson. Shut up and eat your pudding. What do you think of that?
Nice.
I'm going to try and apply that in my everyday life.
It's not hard.
What book is that from?
It's just a general quote from him in life. I mean, I've got all his quotes in front of me here. I've written them down in my little book. How about this one? I like every girl. Every kind of girl that there is, I like.
Is that what was he doing a Borat impression?
I tell you what, if we had a few more men like that, maybe we'd have a few less Andrew Tates. That's a good one to end on, isn't it? Something to go home and think about.
There's a hyperlink in your document.
I can't believe you hyperlinked to another Google document, you absolute you fucking dork.
I'll tell you what I've done. What I like about this podcast, it's like figuring out systems and efficiencies to make it.
I thought it was because nobody stops you talking.